about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, leader needs the guts to stay alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing, it's almost traditional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him equal. So it's not the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't ridicule, and they will be of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who participate part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equal. Making everything really about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. Biggest lesson here, leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy. You saw what really happened. It was the first. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to day 2 of Ripple Fest. Congratulations, you made it. I hope if you are sat on your butt that you're going to get up and shake your tooties right now. Get a little bit of energy into your body. Make it. Let's build your movement. And out there expanding the great work, the brilliant message, the unique lighthouse that you are, getting you out there in front of all those lives that are ready and waiting to hear your message. And it all starts, as you've just seen, it all starts with that first one follower. And we think of building movements as having millions of people, but it all starts with just one. And it starts with you, first of all, stepping up. Owning your identity, owning the value that you bring to the world, really stepping in to your gift so that you can own it, stepping into the power of the legacy that you're creating and the purpose for why you're here. And of course, then owning your lane around it. So welcome back to day 2. We've got some incredible ripple makers that I'm going to be inviting onto the global stage this evening. But first of all, for those of you who are new to One Drop Movement and you're here, that maybe this is your first time that you've ever had anything to do with us, then I want to wish you a very warm welcome from my heart and my One Drop to yours for joining this beautiful global family. It is growing, and you are part of the movement. Remember, it starts with one person, and now we're over 500 people in the One Drop Movement group. We've built it intentionally, we've built it slowly, and we've built it purely through word of mouth referral. So who do you know that is a ripple maker, that's making a difference in the lives of others, that's a change maker, that's maybe an influencer to you, and you think, actually, this is a community that we could all be uniting in together? Please let them know about it. Invite them to come and join the group. And not only will you be able to build your brand in this community, but you'll see others building theirs as well, so that we can follow all the good stuff that they're doing. That's why we run Ripple Fest single month, to bring to you the most phenomenal change makers that are doing wonderful things in the world, that are creating blessings beyond their business. And I hope that you, if you haven't been on this global stage yet, I want to see your backstage on this stage so we can share what you are doing with the world as well. Now, don't worry if you missed the first session yesterday. We had a bit of a problem yesterday. Facebook, for some reason, was showing the interviews to some people and not others. It was so random how it was picking people. I was looking, could it be location? But no, there were people in the same geographical location that one was accessing it and the other wasn't. So if you're having problems getting onto the Facebook stream right now, simply come backstage and join us. It's just the only people that will be able to unmute and come onto the stage and ask questions and be part of it will be the speakers themselves. So I just ask that you respectfully come on, mute yourself, make sure that you're quiet so we can give the stage to our incredible speakers tonight. And if you have missed yesterday's session, don't worry, I uploaded the replay of it into the group earlier, so don't watch the live stream version of it. If you can't see it and it says the content's not available, don't worry, go up to the pinned post at the top and you'll find yesterday's session there. So it's nice and easy for you. Now, I've got another amazing lineup of incredible change makers who are here to join us today. They are influencers, they're ripple makers. Most of them, I think all three of them actually, have been part of the brand, have been on this journey with me as much as I've been on the journey with them, and we're going to go deep this evening. So I want to just remind you that for those of you that were here yesterday, those of you that are joining in today, I want you to really go deeper than you've ever been before. You know, I know that it's easy to kind of be cooking and maybe walking the dog and listening in, tuning in, and those things are great. And I also want you to make that commitment to yourself that even if you are multitasking right now, the one thing you are going to do is to go deeper. Promise yourself that you will go deeper, that you will, you know, any ideas that you hear that you might have heard before, or any things that are reaffirmed to you over this next couple of days, just think about what the speakers are saying and what is true for you about how that might be playing out in your life. So as you've probably heard many speakers say before, open your mind like a parachute, get ready to learn, become that sponge. We can know a lot of stuff, but what if our own perception of what we know isn't the only way? Maybe there are some other ways, and we're going to hear some of those tonight from our ripple makers. So get ready to go deeper, get ready to rise higher. And give me a hashtag in the comments, hashtag rise higher, if you need to raise your visibility, increase the amount of lives that you're making an impact on, and increase the income that you're bringing in as a result. Oh my gosh. Now I'm so excited to welcome these ripple makers onto the stage. So whether you're tuning in live with us or you're on the replay, make sure that you ideally go and put your comments under the live stream in the Facebook group, so that anybody that's coming in and watching the replays after today, they're going to still feel like they're part of it. Remember, at One Drop Movement, no one gets left behind. That's our motto. No one gets left behind. So let's make sure that we make that commitment to go in and support those others that are coming in behind us as well. So today we're going to go deeper with the amazing Yoka Hutma, the incredible founder of the Brave and Bright Foundation. We're going to be digging in with Yoka. We've got Daniel Wood, who's building an enormous movement for over 80,000 fathers. We're going to hear more about that. And we've got the Miracles Through Movement mentor, Donna Riley, in the house, who is building an enormous movement through movement. So I cannot wait to dig in deeper with these incredible change makers who said yes to their vision. They said yes to their purpose, and they said yes to themselves. And I am so blessed that they also said yes to being part of the Ripple Makers Mastermind. And that means that I've been able to get behind their businesses. I know how their businesses work, and I'm so proud. And I trust them so much that that's why I'll put my brand behind what they are doing. So let's get our Ripple Makers onto the stage. Let's welcome our very first Ripple Maker. We have Yoka Hutma, who is an established and seasoned visionary. For those of you that know Yoka, I don't know anybody that cannot look at this woman and fall in love at first sight. She's just absolutely amazing. She's been my mentor, as well as a mentor for many hundreds of other entrepreneurs over the years. She's an influencer, and she's creating a platform for women to be seen, to be heard, and to find their voice so that they can live an empowered and hopeful future. She's also the founder of the Brave and Bright Foundation. Now, I first met Yoka many years ago at a public speaking event that I was going to speak at. And she joined Brand Builders Club. She ended up going on to become an ambassador of the Brand Builders Club. She was traveling around. We were flying around on planes and trains, and we were always going somewhere until COVID hit. And that enabled both of us to really take a step back and say, hang on a minute, what is it that we're building? What is that next step? And I just feel so blessed that both of our movements are constantly dancing together, and the stuff that I'm doing is dancing with the stuff Yoka's doing, and vice versa. So it's been a real honor to be a part of helping her to shape her vision and mission, but to also see her now take that out to the world. So Yoka's currently publishing her new book, Tears Behind the Smile, which describes in compelling detail her adventurous journey, and I can imagine there's a few adventures in this book, of courage to reinvent herself and find new ways of hope in the storm of her life's experiences. I'm going to ask Yoka to tell us more about that shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Ripple Makers welcome for the amazing Yoka Hutma. Yeah. Yoka! I am so excited to get this amazing family creator who's got a gazillion adopted children, who's been on a massive mission to change the lives of children all over the world. Yoka, welcome back to Ripplefest.
Thank you, Sammy.
It's nice welcome to be back, because you've been on this stage about 5 times now. Yoka, for those of you that don't know you, and I can't imagine there's many people in this community that don't know you yet, but for those that don't, could you tell us a little bit about what you do and why you do it?
Sammy, it's taken a long journey to get to this point, because I had to find my truth and be honest about it, and then actually get to the point that I'm the common denominator in all these issues and crises that I have been. So by doing that, I have recognized I'm a woman with a past, but I've definitely stepped into my future, because that past does not define me. And that is what I'm trying to get across to women, first of all, women and then men, to get their past to be recognized, that it does not define them. We all have shadows. We've all got hidden things in our lives that aren't actually perfect.
Amazing, Yoka. Right.
You can't hear me. Is it Sammy that's gone? Okay, keep on talking. Okay, so yes, it's exciting that I've really come out with this book, which is Tears Behind the Smile. And yeah, people always see me smiling and so, but oh boy, did I have tears, a lot of tears. And that is the thing is that we have been hidden behind closed doors. Nobody knows what is going on. And that is what I am targeting, is these women, and every woman I am speaking to have some form of tears behind the smile. And I feel that we've all had, look, it's not all about abuse, but abuse is very much a target, all the different forms of abuse. But the exciting thing is that I finally got out of it. I got it on paper. I tell you, that was the hardest thing for me to do. And I did it in 4.5 months, finally. So this is now, I'm coming out. I'm raw and real in this. There's no hiding, just myself. And I want to create this movement where women would experience to be themselves, and there's no shame in your past, because the past does not define you.
And I've seen how hard you have worked on this book, and you're actually now on your second book, but let's stick to the first one while we are on this session today. Now, Yoka, what I know of you is that, like, it seems to me like you were born a change maker. Like you came straight out of the womb and you were a change maker as soon as you took your first breath. But let's go back to when you realized that you were a change maker. At what point in your life? Take us back to the moment that you realized that you were. What happened?
This was in Africa, because I grew up in Africa. I'm originally from Ireland, and I grew up in Africa. And when the Congo refugees came, and these children were orphaned, they had no toys, they had no home. This made such an impact in me. And I said to my mom that day, I'm going to make a difference. 12. I'm going to make a difference. And we had to go into our toys and give our best toys for every family. It ended up that we had to learn to give. And I'm still doing that today with my grandchildren. One of their things that they have, that they really love, they must give away before they actually open it and play it and play with it and ruin it. So yeah, at 12, I knew. And I rescued an orphan in the sea, and I couldn't swim myself, and it was 17 and I was 12. So it started there. It started there.
Wow. And you went on to then take all of those things that, you know, I mean, I've heard loads of stories. Fortunately, I've flown around the world with you. We've spent loads of time. I've heard all the great stories of things that your mum did and things that you went in and helped your mum to do. And I get the feeling that your mum was a very strong foundation for you in becoming that change maker. Now, your mum, it sounds to me, was also very entrepreneurial. So were you also an entrepreneur from a very young age, or was it that, you know, you were in an area where, you know, the economy wasn't as strong as it could be necessarily, and so you had to find ways of being resourceful? So do you think you've always been an entrepreneur, or was it something that you learned?
Absolutely. I had a club called Secret 7. And
I don't know about this one.
We had cloaks that we'd made ourselves on those Singer sewing machines. And we had hoods. And then we'd go into this little outhouse, which was our clubhouse, the 7 of us. And we'd plan. And what we did is we made bags with all goodies. And we sent it to UNICEF at that time to actually start giving it to the people that were in crisis. So that was also at the age of 13. I was doing that. I was the leader of the Secret 7. Not very secret, but
what a brilliant
don't
story.
Push me out. These stories come out. I forgot about that.
And I mean, obviously you wrote in, you were one of our change makers and ripple makers that wrote in The Law of Brand Attraction too. Guys and girls, if you haven't got that book, make sure you go to thelawofbrandattraction.com, go buy that book. In fact, all three of the ripple makers that are on the stage tonight are in that book. And that's something that we do as ripple makers. We collaborate to create things that will make a massive difference in the world. And Yoka, that's something that is a big part of you, isn't it? The collaborative side. And one thing that I'm biased, so many things about you, but one of the things I admire most is that you have an idea, and the first thing you do is go to who can help me. Whereas most people I know, most entrepreneurs go into flight and freeze over how do I do this? How do I do this? But actually, you've never been somebody that I know as a how do I do this? You're a who knows how to do this person. And that's one of the things that I really admire about you and what you're doing. And if only so many more people applied themselves using that philosophy, they'd get a lot further, a lot faster. Have you grown up with that, or was that something you came up with yourself?
No, being 6 girls, we always used to have to work together, and nobody was the head and nobody was the tail. That's in my book. We work together because teamwork is always the most powerful thing. And for me, this book that I've put out there, it's about me, but the book is not mine. It's the reader's. It's the reader's book. Why I've done that is because I've recognized that this community that I want to develop is to get these people together, to be able to be free to be themselves, and there's no judgment. And that story comes through the book, that I had to not judge myself, because I think we are the hardest people on ourselves. And that shame that we have is carried through us. And then you feel you haven't got confidence, and the lies just become bigger and bigger and bigger. And that is what I'm addressing. There's no shame. I mean, by putting my heart and soul out in that book, what I find is that nobody actually knows those stories truthfully. It's gone into a depth that I'm really being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I have nothing to lose by being vulnerable, because it's actually my power.
Yeah, I used to see vulnerability as a weakness, but I've learned, especially being surrounded by the ripple makers that you're hearing from tonight, what they're really teaching me constantly is that your strength is in your vulnerability. Now, I know that you've got a few vulnerabilities where it comes to business. Technology is one of them. I know it's a vulnerability for me as well. What would you say has been the hardest challenge that you've faced as you've been building your business? Has it been around technology? Is there something else?
Focus.
How many of you also share that challenge?
To get the job done. Yeah. Because I've got so many different things that are in me, and I'm an information hoarder. I hoard information. I just take all this information in, like a box, like yeah. The biggest challenge I had is to focus and depend on what I really needed to do.
Yeah, I can imagine that there's a lot of entrepreneurs that share that same challenge with you, but you've got really focused over this last 6 months. You've been really on it. You've been really focused. I've seen the things that you've been doing behind the scenes, so I can't wait for you to get out there and launch them. Now, before we talk about your book and what you're doing, I'd love to know the answer to this question, which I'm asking all of our entrepreneurs that are featuring on Ripple Fest this month, is if you had to build your business all over again, what would you do sooner? Not necessarily what would you do, but what would you do sooner that you wish that you hadn't taken so long to do in your business now?
To bring the people together that have the same impact and vision that I have. And just on the Ripple Fest, you know how many people I'm connecting now and saying, let's build this community together, because together we have more impact than just one. It's not just a one person story. Each one of us give a different angle. And that is what I definitely will do. And now I'm being diligent on connecting with those people. It's not just a whole lot of names. I'm now connecting and collaborating with them, because it's a teamwork.
Yeah. It's like you make the relationships, you build the relationships, even while you're not ready to get out there and launch your movement. I've seen you supporting others to build their movements while you get ready to build yours. And of course, now because you've been giving, that infinite flow of receiving is now coming to you, because you've never asked anything of anyone. And now's the time that you now need that support from others. So Yoka, as we round up for today, as we wrap up this first incredible interview, they go so fast, don't they? Tell us about your book. Tell us how can we get hold of it? When are you launching it? How can we support you?
Okay, the book is a true story of a life's journey of discovering what is right and wrong. When you are very protected in your childhood, you and the religious background, you have no idea what is right and wrong except according to what you were taught. I had to go through that journey. And the honest journey is about finding yourself, finding it, and actually not taking yourself too seriously in that, and finding hope in the crisis. And the biggest thing was for me is, oh dear, I'm the common denominator in all these things. And it's had to be a real big magnifying glass of looking at myself to see where I need to change, because the change starts within you. And you can't hide, because it's going to catch up with you. It does. It caught up with me with vertigo. The trauma just caught up. And now that I'm facing it, everything is sorted out. So your health issues, everything gets sorted out. Your life started getting, when you hide things, if things are in the dark, things just start festering. When you blip it out, and that is what I want. I want people to be free to say, this is me. This is me. And you know what? This is a cup. Look at this.
I love it.
Be brave, be bold, be you. This is it. I'm just encouraging the people to be brave, to be bold, and to be you, to live, love, and laugh again. That the tears that are hidden, those triggers that are hidden, must come out. It's like a boil, you've got to pop it. Sorry, I'm a nurse. You pop it so that it comes out and the festering comes out, so that you can be and blossom and be the best version of yourself. I am now at this age really feeling, for the first time in my life, I'm free.
That's amazing, Yoka. Amazing. Yoka, tell us, when is the book going to be published? Is it still a secret? Are you going to let us know?
It's all in the pipeline. It's all in the pipeline. They're doing their magic. And so what I would love the people to be able to watch me on Facebook, Yoka Hutma, and connect with me and share with me if you want to know this more about the book. And I'll let you know when it's out. It's going to be out on all the different levels, and these professionals are doing it, but I would really like it to promote it. If you haven't been abused, to buy it and to give it to somebody that you would know. It's those abused women that really need to read this to be comforted, because there's lifelines in it. And in those lifelines, they will find encouragement apart from the story and relating to it.
Yeah.
That is what I would like. And really, it's going to be out, I think, early September or end of August. And but you people will know.
Yay! All right. Thank you, Yoka. Guys and girls, give it up for Yoka. Yoka, thank you so much for being you, for being true to what you're doing. Daniel's giving it like this backstage. Loving it, loving it. Guys and girls, you're in the One Drop Movement group. If you're watching this live right now, you're watching it in the One Drop Movement group. You might be watching it on YouTube. Wherever you're watching it, do reach out to Yoka Hutma. Just type her name in. You can see her name on the screen right now. Type her name into Google, go Google her, go find her, and make sure you connect with her. And you never know, you could be collaborating with Yoka on your next big thing. So Yoka, thank you so very much for coming to join us and for being the very first person to wear a One Drop in the world. And she's still got it on all these years later.
It's a privilege. Many knocks out at night, but I've always got it on.
Bless you. Thank you, Yoka. Well, guys and girls, what were your takeaways from that? Let's see your takeaways in the comments. Please remember, go and comment in the Facebook group, not in Zoom. I know that there's a bunch of you backstage on Zoom right now. Go to the group and comment if you can. Now I'm going to get our next incredible ripple maker up. His name is Daniel Wood, and he is lovingly known as the Victory Trailblazer. Daniel is an international best-selling author, is an in-demand ambassador of a life-transforming process that releases the tension from your body's core to free you from past stress and trauma on every level. I can't wait to dig in with him on that, as I'm sure you want to hear more about it too. Daniel's on a mission to inspire and motivate fathers to embrace this practice, equipping them with simple tools they can use to give themselves and give their children in an easy way to reduce the impact of the stress and trauma on their bodies. Daniel's own transformation, followed by that of his own children, has enabled him to create a victory that both fathers and their children can be proud of. Now, I've known Daniel for many years. He first came through the Brand Accelerator program, I believe it was, many, many years ago. He then joined the Brand Builders Club, which then went on to become the Ripple Makers Mastermind. So all of our Ripple Makers Mastermind members, if you're not a member, why not? Come join us. They all now get access to everything I've done in how to build a brand in the Brand Builders Club. So I've brought all three of those businesses together. And so Daniel's seen as much as my growth and my journey as much as I've seen of his over the last 4 or 5 years. So it's been amazing that I've been able to support him and he's been able to be a witness to the growth. And I hope that I am always the leader that is demonstrating what is possible, what is achievable, and living a life that's authentic on your own terms at the same time as building a global movement. So it's been a real honor to witness Daniel and the growth, the enormous growth of his business. He's building the business that his mother started many years ago. And Daniel's been the visionary and the trailblazer that has really taken that business, using all of our core principles, taking that and applying it to growing the business. So if you are part of the mastermind, you'll regularly see Daniel showing up. And I think that's why the business keeps growing the way it does, because you have to be in it to win it, as they say. Ladies and gentlemen, do please join me. Give us a whoop whoop in the comments. Give us a Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. Give us a hashtag applause. Give everything you've got to bring on this amazing ripple maker to the stage, Mr. Daniel Wood. Yay! Listen to these lyrics. I've got too much life running through my veins, going to waste. Do you know, I know that many years ago, Daniel had an epiphany on a shop floor, having been homeless and all kinds of shizzle happened to him. And he has really bounced back. And when he talks about victory, this is a guy who really has become the version of the father that he very much hopes to bring into the world and be that brand for all these other fathers as well. Daniel, welcome to Ripplefest, my darling.
Hey, Sammy, it's great to be here as always. So excited.
I've been seeing you dancing behind the scenes. You're like our very own Ripplefest and Brand Builders Club and One Drop Movement dancer. We haven't been on a stage for a while, actually, have we? I think we need to do that.
Yeah, I think the last time we really danced was something out of Greece, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. I actually have pictures of that. Yes, the very last summit that we ran in 2019, a physical summit that we ran in Manchester. So Daniel, I've seen your journey. I've seen what you've been able to do for your mum's business. But you weren't new to business, were you? You'd already been working in marketing and you got your MBA in business as well. So it wasn't like you didn't have any business skills. You went into business with skills behind you already. But what happened before you got into business? Why did you do that? Why did you get into business in the first place?
Oh, Sammy, when I grew up, it was, this is what you have to do. My son, you get your degree, you get your A-levels, you get your degree, you climb the corporate ladder, and awesome stuff, right? And that was the way father figures were leading in the fathers that I met, whether I was in England or in Germany, where I moved to. And I thought, yeah, fantastic. I'm doing that. I worked up, got my MBA. I ran a £1 million or €1 business. Well, it was Deutschmark business, let's say, in those days. And I was doing great success. And I was like, felt that I was climbing like a tree, sort of climbing up a tree to get to the top of that tree. But I saw how many others were sort of reaching that limit or the highest they could go. And they reached their levels and they stopped. And I thought, what's going on here? Where does this lead me? And it's like, how high can I go? I learned you go to your highest level of incompetence. So it's like, when you get there, that's where it stops. And just as I got there after completing my MBA and had a big business success, I sort of looked across the valley, and I heard people like Robert Kiyosaki and Anthony and Tony Robbins sort of singing about the great freedom you have when you take control of your life. And I saw another tree in the distance. I thought, I want to be in that tree, not this one. I want to be in that one. But how do I get there? And I heard those wonderful voices or messages that I heard from you as well. You have to have a plan, jump or leap, and you'll build the plane on the way down, and sort of stuff. So I thought, okay, well, if they say that, I'm going to do it. Yeah. But I have 3 children, right? And I have 3 children. I was married. I had a house, I had a new car, all the bits and pieces that one says, yeah, you've done that. You're doing good. And I realized, well, my greatest thing was always to be an awesome leader for my children. And I thought, if I stay on this tree, then I will be the limit on their lives. So I said, no, I'm going. So I took the leap of faith, and I had a great idea, completely abstract. It was all about fish from Ecuador, importing it into Germany and making a great difference to poor fisher people in Ecuador who were suffering from piracy and all sorts of stuff. So sound purposeful, and off we go. Yeah, well, I discovered on the way down that there was a whole lot of things I didn't know. That I didn't know you, Sammy, that they would probably save me a lot, but I learned a lot of, I don't know nothing about finance. I know nothing about sales. My marketing is crap, and I was relying on somebody who didn't know a lot either. So so the plane building was more like a nosedive into the ground. And like you said, one day I woke up, I was laying on a shop floor, homeless. My wife was on the course for divorce. I was no longer living with my children. I was drowning my sorrows in cheap Aldi wine because I lived in Germany and it was cheap there. And I heard a song, or a song was ringing in my ears, Cat in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. And it's got a beautiful chorus, which is like a real haunter for fathers, is, I'm going to be like you, Dad, you know, I'm going to be like you. And like I was hearing that and I thought, oh my goodness, how's this going to turn out? Yeah. I got to pull myself together, and just a couple of months before that, my mother showed me a practice that she just recently learned and was on a mission to share it around the UK. And I started to practice, and step by step, my life started to pick up. And yeah, and where we are now, well, you know, evolving. I'm gone past that tree. I'm climbing the mountain behind it. And I'm rising up to new levels, on the course for a new level of victory. And, you know, the greatest success has happened so shortly before here, where I wanted to be an inspiration for my children. And my son, 16 years old, says to me, Papa, you are an inspiration for your next generation. And I suddenly found what my purpose is, and that is to inspire other fathers to just embrace this simple practice, have the courage to go through the journey that it takes us on, and lead our children in the recovery of the biggest threat to all their lives, and that's the stresses and traumas. So,
yeah. Wow. Gosh. Guys and girls, for those of you that have just witnessed what you've seen on the screen, 5 years ago, Daniel was shy. He wouldn't take a microphone. He wouldn't speak up. He was the quiet student at the back. You know, when we ran Brand Builders Club members days all over the world, Daniel would be the one at the back of the room, diligently making notes. And he was always getting shit done, but was always the quiet one. And what you will have witnessed if you'd have been with me in Holland at one of our Dutch events, you would have seen Daniel had grown so much in confidence because he was now owning his identity and his value and his gift and his purpose and his lane, that I couldn't get him off the bloody microphone. Do you remember that, Daniel?
Yeah, absolutely. It was I came over extra for the workshop to be with you and meet the wonderful Dutch brand builders and the international group there, and it was fantastic. And like, yeah, it was like I was surprised myself. It was for one of our great brand builders who we had to sort of kind of build a little story about what we had to do and or what the person was doing. And I sort of stood there and because the two of the Dutch ladies' English wasn't very good at all, so they couldn't really say anything. And our lady Bolatui was, she's a brilliant speaker, brilliant everything, but she just stood there and like I took over the dialogue, and it's like, wow.
You did, and you really owned it. It was great to see that confidence, to see that shift in you. And so, Daniel, what I want to know is, we've got so many entrepreneurs that are tuning in, ripple makers, influencers, emerging ripple makers that are on their way to building that movement and getting their first followers, as we saw at the very beginning of this session. And it's taken you a while to get into the momentum for your own thing, because you've been really supporting your mum with hers, and you're still working together, and you're still actually going to be promoting the program and the process that your mum learned all those years ago, that she passed on to you and that you've now passed on to your kids. But what I want to know is, for those people that they're getting frustrated because they're not getting it straight away, and that vision isn't coming straight away, and like it's taking too long, those people that are feeling that frustration, what would your advice be to them in terms of taking a slower approach to getting it right first time?
Well, one of the one word that somebody said to me, which was completely out of the blue, and I was standing in Germany, must be about 25 years ago, and some stranger walked up to me and asked me the translation of one word, and it was patience. And he told me to have patience, and he said, and I never forget that moment. It's totally weird, but I think patience is the most important part that we have to have, because the universe has got what I'm discovering from myself and many that I meet through brand builders and you, Sammy, is that the answers don't come immediately. You get one little bit, you make progress with it, you uncover it, you unravel it, and then you move on to the next bit and the next bit and the next bit. And it's like those amazing people will come in from different angles to help you with the next step. And it's just like, keep the belief that you're on a path to building a movement, to be an amazing inspiration for others, and just keep going. And that's just kept me going. And the powerful tool that my mother taught me, because the stress of it is sort of high, but I managed to keep going and recovering and moving forward. And like when we came into the brand builders, and it's like you shared with the 7-step Kickstarter that one has to do as building as an entrepreneur. The thing you start with is a vision. And like we all start with little visions, and you say, no, you want a bigger vision. And even when you got a bigger vision, you add a 0 on the back of it. And it's like, and it's like the people you meet.
Add a 0, add a 0.
On it. It's unbelievable. So it's like, so we just keep expanding, but through the brand builders and through the One Drop ripple makers and Ripple Fest and so on, I've met so many that sort of just expanded and showed me, what you can do. That's your own limiting thoughts that are keeping you there. There's far more to that, and just and then they show you what they can do, and then you say, well, I can do that too, because all I need is that and that, and get the people to help me do it. And so patience, Sammy, is the key. And you're frozen. So do I do
I love that word. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, no, I think I'm back. Yeah, always dance. That's always the way to go about any kind of freezing online. Just keep dancing.
That's another one. And I have to say, with subject dance, Sammy, as the person who's going to come up after me, is like, if you're a lady, go and join our Be Alive in 5 group, because that's like dance heaven.
Dance heaven, it absolutely is. We're going to be getting into dance heaven with our amazing Donna shortly. Daniel, I have a couple more questions, just very quick ones, quick fire ones, before we end this interview. So the first thing is, as the question that I've asked everybody, what one thing would you do sooner if you had to start it all over again?
We'll just ask Yoka to hold up a cup one more time, please. And it's to be brave, be bold, and be myself. And I wasn't really that. Yeah, I hid being bold for many a time, and because I screwed up so much, my self-worth was low, and I couldn't push myself and didn't want to, and hid behind the scenes building all the stuff that I did, but I wasn't bold enough. Yeah, so be bold. Come on.
You'd be bolder, faster.
Be bolder, be braver, be you.
Absolutely. Oh, we're going to have to capture that. I can feel this. I can feel it. Daniel, you've been part of everything that we've been doing for so long. One final question for you. For anybody that's sat on the fence that's thinking, I don't know whether to be part of the Ripple Makers Mastermind or not, what would you say to them?
Just come on. Yeah, there's so much to discover about we all started, I certainly did, nervous, insecure, not sure, but this is a gateway to a new freedom of life. You can learn the skills, you can meet those that can help you, support you, and guide you, and there's so much inspiration to have here. So whatever the container is you're in now, open a door, walk out to that container, and come into this new open platform of fun and exploratory things to discover.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so that's what I say.
Yay, thank you Daniel. I love you, I love your mum, I love everything that you've been building. I'm so proud of you. Keep swimming, my friend. Guys and girls, give it up for the amazing Daniel Wood. Give us a Daniel in the chat. Oh my gosh, it's such an honor. I don't feel like I'm working when I show up every day, and we mastermind every single day. When I show up, like, I'm so excited by the end of the session. You know, there's days when I wake up and I think I'm going straight to bed straight after this session, and then I'm so alive after the session. I'm so inspired by all the things that these incredible Ripple Makers are doing. If you haven't experienced one of our masterminds yet, reach out to me, come and join us on a mastermind, get an experience of it, and see if it's something you think might work for you. So we are moving into our grand finale speaker of the evening. We have the amazing Donna Riley in the house. She is globally known as the Miracles Through Movement mentor. How many of you know Donna already? Give us a Donna. If you're not part of her Be Alive in 5 movement, literally 5 minutes of movement every single day can make all the difference to your business, to your health, and to your wealth. And I'm pretty sure that physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, this woman has something that can make a difference to all of those things and more. She's a gifted intuitive movement mentor. She's an inner transformation leader, and her purpose is to reawaken, inspire, and empower women to alchemize their pain into pleasure. This is actually a deeply personal experience for Donna, and a big mission for her, because after having a near-death experience at the age of just 12, she has dedicated the rest of her life to learning how to be fully embodied and to embrace this 3-dimensional world that we're in right now. So for the past 30 years, Donna has studied movement science, energy medicine, personal development, epigenetics, and lots of other healing modalities. And she's got the gift of clairvoyance, which means that she can see things in the body that you can't even see yet. She can see the body in a multidimensional way. So she's on a mission to help women identify the missing link that is the key to unlocking their limitations and roadblocks, things that are preventing women from fully embracing their divine essence and moving through life with grace and fire. Ripple makers, please give it up for our incredible Donna Riley. Give us a boogie. If you're not moving yet, you need to be shaking that butt. Donna, welcome back to Ripplecast. Like the
Thank you.
Joining us from where are you in the world?
I am in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yay! Donna's just moved not so long ago, and you've been finding your feet in a brand new place.
Yes.
Now, Donna, you witness things in people's bodies. Like, I see you when you give your feedback to people about how they're moving. Like, I've never heard anybody talk about movement in the way that you do. So share with the people that don't know you yet, what is it you do? Why do you do it? And what is so different about what you do? Because it is very different.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, you know, the other core part to my story is I spent most of my life disembodied and not knowing it at the time. And so in the past 3 years, I've actually, through my own fascia release practice, became fully embodied through a soul retrieval experience. And I've always been very passionate about movement in the sense that, like, it is life. Like, I just knew it, you know. Like, I remember sitting at a baseball game. I had 3 brothers. My father thought it was a big deal to take us to a baseball game. I thought it was hell. And we're sitting there for like these 7 or whatever, how many innings there are. And I literally started screaming and crying about halfway into the game. I was like 10 or 11 years old. I'm like, why do we have to sit here for so long? A human body's not meant to sit. This is torture. So I always knew, you know, and I was always told, Donna, do you have to be so passionate? Do you have to be so intense? Can't you just sit down, Donna? I'm like, no, I can't. The body's meant to move. Why are you all sitting? Because that's not okay. Like, you know, so it's just always sort of lived in me. And now, you know, as I witness women, I specialize with women over 40 because there's something that starts to happen around that age where we start to buy into our limitations. Oh, I guess I'm just getting old, and I don't know why I'm tired all the time, and I can't do this anymore, and I guess I never will. And it's just, I'm like, it's just all bullshit. Like, it's what you've been conditioned to believe. It's like, you don't understand the little, like, what makes me different is I work with the fascia of the body, which means I work with the human being, right? Because the fascia, our connective tissue, is literally who we are. Consciousness lives in our tissues. The impact of how we treat our body, our thoughts, our emotional state, all has an impact on our tissue, which means we become more open, less open, more light can come in, less light can come in, all based on how you move and how you treat your body in the bigger picture. So right now, the biggest obstacle is so many people are living in fear and buying into a bullshit narrative that they're being given, and they're slowly dying. And I'm not okay with that.
Yes!
I'm not okay with that.
And you're really fighting for this mission, you know, and I love how empowered you are by the vision that you've created for your business, that literally getting the world moving, starting with just 5 minutes a day. I mean, you're making for people to take action. But what about what we've been through over the last few years? Are you finding that a lot more people are even more restricted than they were before?
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying. I mean, it's really like, every couple months I have a good cry about it. And it's because it's become slowly normalized, right? And we're slowly being manipulated into believing things, and it's just really, and I get all the time like, oh my God, how do you have so much energy? How come you're so flexible? How come this? I'm like, because I practice what I preach. I embody what I believe, and I believe in every single cell in my body of the power of this miraculous humanity, this miraculous body that you have, which is literally literally the same thing. It's your source, it's your connection to source, it's your way of moving through life, it's your way of enjoying the pleasures of life. I mean, when I was disembodied, I didn't even think about pleasure. Like it was like, oh, just get your work done and do what you got to do. Now I'm like, I want some pleasure.
Bring it
Got some
on.
more.
Bring it on. Well, I mean, you talked about fear and how that's affecting the body, and how we're restricting, we're getting excuses happening. Oh, that's just because I'm getting old, or oh, that's just my age. And as you say, it doesn't have to be. I mean, like I am so in awe of how good you look at 21. I mean, it's fantastic how I mean, you're in your 50s and you are absolutely, you look younger than many 20-year-olds. Like we've seen 20-year-olds walking about today who are drinking and smoking, and that are, you know, absorbing all of that energy that's out there in the world, and it's aging them way before their time.
Yeah.
So Donna, in your business, because, you know, there's a lot of health practitioners, there's a lot of people that are talking about doing this. So how are you positioning yourself differently to all of the others? How is it you're building your movement?
So my generic tagline is, I want you to feel fully alive in your body. And so to me, a lot of that starts with, we are never taught how our bodies actually work. And what breaks my heart is we, as a collective, what I see too much of is giving your body over to somebody else to fix it, to heal it, to solve the problem, right? Instead, my main paradigm shift I really, really, really want to impact is every single thing you need to heal, to grow, to expand, to have the life you want, lives from the wisdom lying inside of you. And so your greatest journey is deeper within the body. And like I said, that becomes really having a relationship with your fascia and knowing how to move. There's an intelligent way to move when you move with your fascia. It's very organic. It's very based on dynamic tension and understanding that. So say you're doing a movement, but you're having these thoughts like, oh, this sucks, I can't do this. You're not going to have benefit or results that you want. The journey is to open the body, open the body, open the body, open the body, create space, decompress, decompress, because life causes compress, 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 right? And then you wonder why you're like all tight and you can't move. You have to consciously be opening in all ways. If I answered your question, but yes, that's the approach. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really agree. And Donna, where it comes to building your business, I mean, you're a very physical, hands-on person, and we've got a lot of ripple makers that are also physical and hands-on. So how has your business had to change and adapt over the last few years where everything has gone online?
That's what I had to do. I had to go online, and going online was also my breakaway to going on my own. So I was still working for someone else, like when all the craziness hit. And when we went online temporarily, I was like, ooh, wait a second. This is my exit. Like, it's time. I'm 58 years old. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Right. So it just became like a nice segue. And then thank God I found you and the community, because I literally had I'm going to cuss. I had no fucking idea what the hell I was doing. I still kind of don't. But one thing I know for sure, I am on my path. Like, this is my destiny. This is my purpose. I know this. I became fully embodied right before COVID, and God told me, girl, you're needed. You got to fucking show up and be here. So it's clear. Now it's just been about building my confidence and getting clearer on my message and like what resonates with people and, you know, all that. But thank God for Sammy and the community. Be like probably on the streets, right?
Oh, bless you. You wouldn't be, because you are who you are, and you are so freaking amazing who you are already. And, you know, actually on the mastermind today, Donna, Daniel, and I think Olwyn was there, and we were there till the end, and we were talking about gurus and mentors. And, you know, we're constantly looking outside for our next mentor. And as a mentor, you know, I'm like really focused on making sure I show up for my members. I'm there even when they're not. Like, I'm still on Zoom. I'm still waiting. Like, there might be one person that shows up. There could be 10 people. There could be 100 people that show up. But I'll still be there. because I know that one drop creates one ripple. And if you create that ripple, what will that do in somebody else's life? And then what will that do in somebody else's life? You just never know where your brand is going to land. You've just got to show up consistently and persistently in the passion of what you do. And so today we were talking about mentors and how we keep looking outside of ourselves when actually we've already got so much wisdom within, and we're looking outside of ourselves instead of looking up. There's a hell of a lot of help up there. We're not tapping into it enough. But when you get quiet, like we do every day, when you get quiet, you can hear the calling. And I think that's something that happened for you, Donna, was that I remember you joined Brand Builders Club and it was like visibility, we've got to grow the brand, got to be global, got to do it. And then all of a sudden, like the whole world at the same time experienced the same pause. And when they say pause for effect, I think what that enabled us to do was pause so that we could have a bigger effect in the world. And I've seen you really adapt your message. You've shifted. Miracles Through Movement Mentor. We couldn't have come up with that when it was all go, go, go. That was something that could only move through you because you were embodying and embracing it. And God, source, universe said, this girl's ready. Now I'm going to give it to her.
Yeah. And, I think what's key right now too, another big part is like, women are, we all know the divine feminine is rising, but it's so important. One of the things that's tricky is like, I love all the women that are wanting to step up with a business and help others, but then I'm looking at them going, but you need to heal your trauma. Yeah. Right. Like there's too many women coming from a wounded place in themselves, trying to help others. And I'm like, no. Like the greatest way you can help the planet is to heal yourself and become a model and an embodied living example and move through life from that place. If you do nothing else but that, you make a massive impact on the entire world.
And that's what building a brand really is. It's about being the brand you want to see in the world, not just talking about it. I mean, I don't know about you and some of you watching in here now. Have you ever had the experience where in the days, I mean, we're back into having events again, but back in the day when everything was about going to events, and I know for me, it was definitely true. I'd go to lots of different events because I'd usually be speaking at them, but I'd see the same people every month if I went there, or every year I'd see the same people and they hadn't moved. They were still talking about the thing that they were going to do, and they still hadn't done it. And and I found myself, I don't know about you, but I found myself minimizing myself because I actually got quite embarrassed about how much I'd achieved in the same amount of time that they could have gone and done it and didn't. And now I'm minimizing myself and downplaying what I had achieved because I didn't want to make other people feel bad. Maybe those of you tuning in now have felt that way. Donna, I know for you with your upbringing and your dad and growing up with, I think 3 brothers, was it? You were always kind of, your voice was always oppressed by the sounds of it in your childhood.
Absolutely. And I was too loud and too intense and too expressive and too sexy. I mean, my dad, like as a teenager, right? It's like, making comments that like I was too sexy when I wasn't even doing anything. I was just being myself, right? So it's like, absolutely, like all these outside voices wanting to diminish like the true expression of who we are. And that's why another part of my passion about women sort of healing and coming into their bodies fully with self-love and like showing up in their full essence, and in all their uniqueness and all their preciousness in this world. So yeah.
I love you so much. I love what you're doing so much. It's so necessary. It's so needed. Donna is now running monthly challenges where she's on a mission to get the world moving. Donna, first of all, tell us about your next upcoming challenge. I know you've got one coming up very soon.
I do, July 19th, and it's held in my group, which I will put the link in the whatever you call that thing.
The chat.
This is the girl who started an online business who knows nothing about technology. Thank God for help. Yes, so it's happening in my group. It's called Be Alive in 5. So the intention is I go live every day for just 5 minutes a day. 1 day a week we do movement. The other 4 days we dance, because motion equals emotion. So if you want to like shift how you feel emotionally and energetically, the best thing you can do is dance. So we do that. And then the challenge is 4 days, and we do a different part of a different body each day, meaning physical body, emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body. And I just give little inspirational tips, little education, and then a little 5 minutes of homework. So I'm live for only 15-20 minutes, but the homework is only 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And so the intention is to really get clear that in order to truly heal, in order to truly open your body, in order to truly live a life of complete fulfillment and joy and move through life with ease, you need to address all the bodies. You need to address all of you, right? So it's like, yeah, energy is important, but yeah, physical is important, but yeah, mental is important. They're all important. So how do we integrate that, you know? And so the challenge is about like kind of taking a little moment to check in with those parts of ourselves and maybe see where, I'm not so good at that part, you know, and then sort of looking at, and then through movement is actually how we actually heal or grow in that way, believe it or not. Like I heal people emotionally all the time through movement. Right. So it's like, it's just a beautiful experience. And so that's July 19th, Be Alive in 5 is the group, and it's for women. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a lot of men circling around me and people telling me I need to do something for men. So that might be happening. Daniel's like, yes, please.
Yeah, that's coming. It's on the way. But Donna, and for those of you that are tuning in, if you're watching the replay and it's not July, Donna does this every single month. So as long as you go in, be part of the Be Alive in 5 group, as long as you're in that group, you'll always hear about the next one. So don't worry if you're watching back and you're thinking, but it's not July, it's September or some other time. Donna is doing it every month. So get your backside either into Donna's inbox. If you're a man and you want her to create something for you, then you need to tell her that there's a demand there. So reach out to Donna and connect with her, let her know that you're interested, and she will create something around the men that are reaching out to her. And in the meantime, if you are a woman or you know a woman that would love to get her body moving, get her business moving or her career moving, and certainly get her health moving, then make sure you connect her with Donna. Donna, just one question. I've asked it of everybody so far. If you had the chance to do it all again, now I've asked everybody about their business. I'm going to ask you about your life. If you could do life all over again, what would you do sooner?
Oh, it's going to make me cry. I would have like told everybody to shut the fuck up and let myself fully be myself, for sure.
I want to give that some space. I want you to hold that space. I want you to say that again. Say it again so we can really own that with you.
I would have given myself permission to fully be myself, express the fullness of myself, and not give a shit what anybody else said or felt about it.
I think that is a grand finale. What a way to finish Ripple Fest. Donna Riley always makes an impact wherever she goes. She just impacted on my heart.
And usually cries.
Yeah, you know, well, I had to make someone cry today. You know, it might as well be you.
Usually me or Yoka, usually.
Yeah. Oh dear. Donna, I love you so much. I love what you're doing. Miracles through movement. Guys and girls, make sure you follow Donna, connect with Donna. You've seen how passionate she is. Get her on your stage. Interview these 3 amazing ripple makers on your podcast. If you know someone else that has a podcast, introduce them. Help them to get their message out there, because in getting that ripple out there and you making that introduction, you made another ripple of your own. You make that ripple of impact. You make a difference and you freaking matter. And it matters more when you take impact and action on the things that matter the most. So guys and girls, tomorrow, well, first of all, I hope you've had an amazing time here at Ripple Fest today. If you've loved it, if you've enjoyed it, take a picture of the screen now, share it out on social media, let everybody know they need to come here. All the replays are available, and invite them to become part of One Drop Movement, to meet all these incredible ripple makers that are doing amazing things. Tomorrow, we'll be back for our final day. It is our final Ripple Fest session tomorrow. We'll be live, same time, same place. We've got 3 more incredible ripple makers. We have Chris Waldron, who's going to be sharing his very fascinating vision that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. Chris is quite new to Ripple Makers. He's been in the Ripple Makers Mastermind for only about 5 or 6 weeks now, but watching his confidence, watching his vision, watching his business grow in that short period of time has just been fabulous. So I can't wait to hear from Chris. We've got Deborah Sophia, Magdalena, and most of you in Ripple Makers, I'm sure, will know Deborah Sophia. She's been a massive part in growing the One Drop movement. She was at the very final summit that I ran before the whole world closed down. So, many of you were at that summit as well. We had over 300 people there from all over the world. And I met Deborah Sophia for the first time. She was invited to come to that event, and she's been a big part of my heart ever since. And we're going to finish with the grand finale on day number 3 with our amazing Action Amanda, who has done so many things. She's built a global brand. She has been a celebrity party entertainer. She's worked with the Beckhams, Amanda Holden, Katie Price. She's the one that the kings and princes get in to entertain their children. And she's built a franchise. She's done all kinds of things. But one of her most recent accolades is getting her Action Amanda cartoon animation series in front of the Cartoon Network. So there's big things that are happening for these Ripple Makers. Tune in, same time, same place tomorrow. And as I said, if you've loved this session, please invite people to come and be part of the One Drop Movement group. I can't do this on my own. I don't want to do it on my own. It's so much more fun doing it with you guys. So let's do it together. I'll help you, you help me, and let's create an infinite flow of ripples. So take care, have fun, be happy, keep being that ripple you wish to see in the world. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day number 3. Lots of love. Mwah. Bye bye for now.